Hello class, today we're going to be talking about division. We will be concentrating on what strategies we can use to divide numbers. Let's first start out with a basic fact. We know that 4 times 3 equals 12. We also know, because of the commutative property, that 3 times 4 also equals 12. But what happens when we decide to start with 12 and divide it 4 ways? Will we still get 3? Or if we start with 12 and divide it 3 ways, will we still get 4? Let's test out that. If we start with 12 items, and we divide it into 3 parts, starting here, 12, dividing into 3 parts, will we end up with 4 in each group? We'll separate it into 3 different sections, and we indeed end up with 4 in each group. Set 1, set 2, and set 3. 4 in each group equals 12. Still the same. Therefore, we know that 12 divided by 3 equals 4. We can also show, if we take that same 12 and divide it 4 ways, that we should end up with 3. Let's divide it like this. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections, and we have 3 in each of our groups. Therefore, 12 divided by 4 equals 3. But what happens when we have an uneven number to divide? In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bones, and we're going to divide them between 1, 2 puppies. So our problem is 7 divided by 2, and we have to come up with an answer. This is not a basic fact, but we're going to use our basic facts to help us. The first thing we'll want to do is rearrange our problem. We want to take that 7 and put it inside of a bracket. This bracket stands for divided by, and we'll put the 2 on the outside. In this case, we're saying 7 divided by 2. And our question is, what times 2 equals 7? Our basic facts tell us to get as close to 7 as we can would be 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. 7 minus 6 equals 1. Therefore, to divide these bones equally, each puppy will get 3, and there will be 1 left over. We call that a remainder of 1. Knowing our basic facts will help us to begin to do long division. In order to do long division, there are some things you need to remember. Mainly, you can just remember your family: dad, mom, sister, brother. First thing we want to do is dad means divide, mom, multiply, sister, subtract, and brother, bring down. An example of a long division problem might look like this: 285 divided by 5. First thing we want to do is set the problem up using a bracket. 285 divided by 5. An example of a long division problem might be 285 divided by 5. The first thing we want to do is rearrange the problem. We will want to use a bracket, put the 5 on the outside, and we'll want to write the 285 on the inside. In order to do this problem, we want to look at 5 and 2 first. We're asking ourselves, is there anything that we can multiply by 5 to get to 2? We know that since 2 is smaller than 5, we can't multiply anything times 5 to get to 2. Then we begin to look at the second number, the 8. We're now asking, is there anything that we can multiply by 5 to get to 28? We know that 5 times 5 equals 25. According to our long division, first we want to divide. Next, we want to multiply. We divided 5 into 28. Then we multiplied 5 times 5 equals 25. Our next step is to subtract. 28 minus 25 is 3. When we're finished that, we'll want to go to brother, bring down. Remember that we still have another 5 here. We'll want to bring that down. The new problem is 35, or what number times 5 will equal 35. Because of our basic facts, we know that 7 times 5 equals 35. Therefore, 35 minus 35 is 0. We now know that 57 times 5 equals 285. Now let's test it. We'll test it by multiplying 57 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. Bring your 3 over to the tens column. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28. So your answer is correct. Let's try another one. 287 divided by 3. We look at the 3 and the 2, and we know that 3 is larger than 2, so we can't divide. Now we're going to look at 3 into 28. What times 3 gets us close to 28? We know that 9 times 3 is 27. We next want to subtract. 28 minus 27 is 1. And again, bring down that 7. Now what times 3 gets us close to 17? Again, we know that 5 times 3 equals 15. Subtract 17 minus 15 is 2. In this case, the 2 is smaller than the 3. Therefore, we have a remainder of 2. Your answer, 95 with a remainder of 2. In order to check this, we will want to multiply 95 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 is 28. Remember that we had a remainder of 2. We now want to take that remainder and add it to our answer. 5 plus 2 is 7. Bring down your 8 and your 2. Your answer is 287. It is correct. Here's a fun practice video to help you with your division. Click on the link and enjoy.